got the motion, you're the curious kind. That's something that I recognize. Won't you stay? It's a beautiful day. Don't walk away. Don't walk away.
So Mark, tell us where we are and what goes on here.
Well, we're actually in Springdale. They call this whole area Corbett. And what's going on here is we're pretty much standing, this is a cut flower production field right here. This section of the field. So we come up here at about daybreak, sometimes a little earlier, and we cut this till about, we can stay here till 10. That's good, but once you start getting later in the day, it's not good to cut the flowers. So we cut them really early in the morning so they hold their moisture.
So you have, if I understand you correctly, you have some that are specifically for cutting, that you cut, and others that are growing, and the hope is that you would use tubers to sell. Is that right or not?
Yeah, and these tubers that we're cutting, or these plants that we're cutting, we're also selling the tubers on those too.
Okay.
They just are better cut flowers. They're the kind of quality that is going to hold up for 3 to 5 days. Some people can get up to 10. Want to make sure that the stores are getting a good quality product. The reason these are hilled up like this, we can talk about that, is this, and they've also been pinched in the center, and they also are growing pretty short, and the reason is, one is the heat this year, is why they're a lot shorter than normal, but also it's because I mowed the top off and it allowed them to bush. This makes a nice sturdy plant, doesn't fall over, doesn't fall over, and this is hilled up, and this keeps it's for cultivating to keep the weeds down. There's some thistles here. These are really hard to get out, but as you can look down the rows, we got pretty clean rows, and that'll allow the digger to go through without being fouled up by all the weeds.
Any machinery?
Well, we got the cultivating tractor over here, and that's how I go through all the rows and clean the weeds out and bury the weeds on the plant with these filler discs. Bigger 40-20 there. Don't look at the lawnmower because it's overkill for that tractor. But that's how you can look at the lawnmower. It's perfect width to go through the rows and chop the stalks. So I don't have to hand chop. I just go through and it's done. It don't take me all day. And that runs on a 60-inch row, so it hugs 2 rows. This tractor can literally go down each row. You wouldn't think it would fit, but it does. We're actually out here starting November 15th, digging the plants out of the ground. And it's not like you can just, with a tractor, go 7 miles an hour and just start plopping them out of the ground. It's a very tender, fragile product. So we're out here digging and gently setting the clumps down after the digger pulls it out of the ground. And then they're carefully put in the crates and they're sent to the wash station where they're carefully washed so nothing breaks. So yeah, we're out here. Hopefully we'd like to get out of here by December 1st or 10th, because you just never know what the weather's going to do. And it can, if it's a record freeze, it could get you. So we finish up with harvesting. Usually I try to be done by January 1st because they'll need to cure up after being cut, and we start packing wholesale accounts, and then I also bring those Dahlia tubers to trade shows, and then after that we go to farmers markets like Hollywood Farmers Market, and that's just a good way to connect with the people and tell you who you are.
And in terms of cut flowers, you don't sell those at the market, right?
I don't sell those at the market.
People come to the farmers market, they see photographs, they see tubers, you sell them the tubers. Do you provide any other sort of information or support when they buy them?
Well, they get planting instructions, and hopefully they read them, because those are important. I know some people don't always do that, but that is an important thing, to read the instructions. They come with a guarantee of that to grow, but that really depends on if they really follow their instructions. And then, yeah, they can always call me, and I got a website that provides a lot of videos with all the seasons of dahlias. And then people do call once in a while, questions, and I send out emails with information.
So, how did you get into dahlias?
Anyways, I really enjoyed the perennial plants in the yard at my house, and I thought when I found these, I enjoyed them, and then I came up with an idea that, well, I want to have a little urban dahlia farm, which my property really doesn't have the size to even call it a farm, but I bought a bunch of stock. I took a $10,000 loan out, planted the stock. It cost me $1,700. I had a little piano bench with cut flowers in it and a bucket for $5 a bunch. Made about $5 a day. Had my first Dahlia Fest that year. Didn't know what I was doing. Started leasing about a half acre out here, and now I think I'm up to about five acres out here. 4.5, 5.
It's a lot of growth.
Yeah, it keeps growing. I used to even have a field in South Waterfront. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't seem to ever see it, but that was like a half acre of, and I had to drive the big tractor down to prep the land, and yeah. So, but that's no more. So, best part of the job, I guess, working for yourself is the best part of the job. I guess sleeping in the winter, like, what do you do in the winter? So, sleeping in, even though you got to work that day, you can, at that time of year, you can wake up when you want to wake up, and you can work till whatever time you want to work. So that's nice.
What's the hardest thing?
The hardest thing is. To tell you honestly, the hardest thing is finding people to work. And that makes your job really tough.
So what would people be surprised to know about you?
I don't know, maybe that I'm kind of a joker when I'm not working, but I don't talk much when I work, and I just want to get it done.
So what do you do when you're not working?
But after you worked a lot all day,
Sure.
The first thing, you don't want to go run a mile, don't want to go play soccer, or basketball. You just want to relax. I don't have a TV, so yeah.
So that's the way to do it. That's good.